Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Morning Glory. My name is Eddie Law. Sounds like a fucking news report, doesn't it? I don't really like that. But I do, if I did that, I could come up with some Brian Williams shit. I was in Iraq. We got shot down. Shit like that. So, anyway, like I said, welcome to the Morning Glory. My name is Eddie Law. Thank you for joining me this morning. Obviously, if you haven't seen it before, if you have seen it before, you know what the show's about. Well, show-ish, podcast, whatever you want to call it, Periscope's about. If you don't, it's just, dumping out whatever the hell's on my brain this morning. So, read a few things. What's up, man? Good morning. Yeah, if you haven't, been on this show, seen this before, it's basically just whatever's on my brain in the morning. And what's on my brain this morning, of course, is last night's Joe Duffy pulling out almost last second, 3 days before the fight, pulling out due to concussions. Turns out he suffered a concussion last Saturday, according to his coach, Faraz Sahabi. By the way, it completely slipped my mind that Joe Duffy had gone over to TriStar to train. Like, I knew it before. What's up, Sean? I knew it before, but I completely forgot he trained over there, which completely explains Conor McGregor's swipe at him. Conor, if you didn't notice, well, you probably did notice, everyone retweeted the fuck out of it. Conor McGregor basically offered to give Poirier a rematch, right? A second chance. He said, Conor's like, I'll just take the gate, and I'll just be all beat up, just we could call him a peanut or whatever. But he was, he wanted to fight Poirier again. He's like, whatever, I'll take it. Obviously, well, nothing official, but obviously the UFC was like, nah. Actually, no, it is official. The UFC said nah, probably. I think UFC should start by having fighters on standby. If you notice, though, they're doing that with the Aldo McGregor fight. Because the night before, they're having Edgar and Mendez. So if Jose Aldo pulls out, you could literally plug either one of those guys in. I'm sure it's in the contract. So, but I agree with you. Although this wasn't a big enough fight to have a standby on. However, apparently Norman Park was offered the fight. He said yes. He's like, yeah, I'm down. And Dustin Poirier says his management said no, and his agent said no, whatever the fuck else, and his coaches said no to the Norman Park fight. I find it hard to believe that if you're a fighter, you say no, I don't want that fight, that your management is gonna treat you like a 5-year-old and tell you to go fuck yourself. We know what's good for you, man. No, if Poirier was down for that fight, he would have pushed for it. He would have been like, no, we'll take that fight. How are you not confident enough to beat the living crap out of a guy that's lost 2 in a row? But dang, the main and co-main both cut. If I were to take a buyer, I'd be pissed. That's the funny thing. It's funny you say that, Daniel, because the UFC actually said if you want your refund, go through Ticketmaster at the point of sale. So people are getting the refunds, and they should. If I was Patty Holohan and Louis Smolka is your main event, do you really want to pay like face value or whatever else they pay that you paid for those tickets if you're in Ireland? Nah, no, you don't. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, look, man, I'll still go to your event if it's like half price tickets. I'm not fucking paying, all that money that I paid to get in the building to not watch Joe Duffy fight. You know what I mean? It was bad enough that we lost Steve Rivers to Roswell, which is funny as hell now that we get Steve Rivers Arlovsky at UFC 195, It's funny how the UFC works, huh? You're injured, and then you get a big-ass fight on the same card as Lawler Condon. I know the UFC likes to think we're retarded. We're not 100% retarded. Injuries make the Irish card humble. Yeah, exactly. 10,000%. Yep. Exactly. This fucking card was pretty solid before, and it was one of those good cards for being on Fight Pass. Now it's just a mediocre card for being on Fight Pass. So that tells you a lot about a card, I think. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm still gonna watch every second of it because you never fucking know who's gonna show up and put on a show. I'm sure, those guys are super motivated now to put on a show. I don't think his injury was that bad, or I don't think he was injured at all. I'll talk about that in a second. But I'm sure everybody that's left on that card is super motivated to do something crazy, because for sure Dana White's like, hey, the fans think you guys suck. They're getting refunds. They're talking about it on social media, saying the card sucks, and they're not even gonna bother watching. So if I were you guys, I'd do something crazy, just like they did for UFC, the one where Renan Barao dropped out. So where he busted his head or whatever. As far as Duffy's injury, if you're talking about Stipe's injury, It was probably a bump. Something like that, excuse me. Something that was bad enough to, be annoying. Or maybe be, maybe take him out for a week or two. But I think the USC was thinking, let's just make Arlovsky Stipe Miocic, right? And then, Dana White's like, well, he's booked for Ben Rothwell. And Joe Silva kind of, does his little cackle and then goes, not anymore, he's injured. Yeah. So, I think they do fake injuries once in a while. I don't think Stipe wanted that fight in the first place. He wanted a top 5 guy. No, 100% he didn't want that fight. Hell no, he didn't want that fight. But you do want to get paid and stay active. And that's the problem in the UFC. If you're not active, you can get passed over. Then again, if you aren't active, you can get a big fight. See Nick Diaz. See Dominic Cruz getting a big fight. Although he did get a really tiny fight last fight, but still. It's just a lot of things like that. So it's really up to what the UFC thinks the fans are going to pay for. They don't give a fuck whether they're, someone's active or not. If the fans are going to pay a ton of money for it. So, we'll see. But yeah, it's so... There's just no... a lot of people like that. For example, a lot of people do those what's next. You missed a good tough last night. Man, I'm so done with The Ultimate Fighter, the series. I really wish it was interesting. And I'm sure there was a lot of shit talk and all that. I'm sure I can catch it on YouTube sometimes, today, which I probably will just catch all the good parts of it. But I'm really... here's what annoys me about Tough. It's the same fucking show every year, or every season now. And there's like 4 seasons a year, or whatever the number is now. So, including the ones on Fight Pass. So, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, okay, you guys are going to fight to get in the house. All right, cool. All right, you guys are going to fight to, in the tournament style in these weeks for this and that and this. All right, cool. Oh, look, coach's challenge. Cool. It's the same thing every single season. I'm honestly sick of it. Just annoyed by it and everything. I know they brought in Conor and Uriah to spice it up with the talking, but talking's only to get you so far, And I know Conor and Cody Garbrandt get into it a little bit, but that's what Conor does. That's the reason they put him in there, because he starts shit and pisses everybody off. So it was expected, right? So I don't know. I'm done with Tough. I need to do something different. Maybe do like the comeback season again. Get a bunch of fighters that have been in the UFC that got cut. Give them all a chance to get back in. Something like that. So, or just stop for like a year or two. You already have over 500 fighters on the roster. You just have to cut 17. And of course, the rumor is they want to cut 50. Who knows? But whatever. But I'm sure it was good. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad everybody enjoyed Tough. I was actually during the entire show I was doing a football show with my boy Michael Reyes over on the ULI. So that was cool. What else went down that I want to talk about? Here's a non-MMA story real quick, and I'm sure we'll get back to MMA in a second. But this really, really annoyed the fuck out of me this morning, so I got to talk about it. Anyone that knows, it was a good fight, though. Team USA won. Oh, yeah, no, I'm going to look up the fight on YouTube. For sure someone put it up. I guarantee it. So I'm going to find the fight. But anyone that knows the Susan G. Komen Foundation, they raise money for, cancer, their charity. Breast cancer, I think, is specifically. Well, they're huge. They're giant, right? Everyone puts in money on the Susan G. Komen Foundation and everything. Well... apparently they got enough money to have attorneys, and some big powerful attorneys at that, because they're going after smaller charities that use the word cure. So like there's like one that's like, I forgot where it, like I think in Alaska, called Mush for the Cure, and they got a fucking cease and desist letter and change your name and shit. I don't know if cease and desist, but for sure change your name and kind of letter, right? They did it to a bunch of little charities. And here's my issue, is if you're a charity and you're supposed to be doing, for the good, why in the fuck are you suing or threatening to sue because someone uses the word cure, in their charity name? This isn't a competition. All right, the Susan G. Komen Foundation has turned into a business. Charity has turned into a freaking business. CEOs, by the way, so a lot of these freaking charities have CEOs now. Not the little ones really, but big, huge ones. But they're getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to to run a company that raises money, and somehow they're tax-free, I think. So, no, they are tax-free, I think. Yeah, exactly. That is crazy. Daniel says, wow, that's crazy. What the fuck? They're in it for the same cause. Exactly. This is where money changes everything. Anyone that tells you, more money, more problems is fucking right, okay? Because once money gets involved and you start getting a little more money and everything, it's become a business, Like, for example, I'm going to be signing up pretty soon here, hopefully, signing up pretty soon for this Live the Night walk that's for specifically for leukemia here, right? And everyone can if you sign up, you can actually raise your own funds and stuff and donate that way, and get your coworkers and your friends and your family to donate money to you, so you can donate it as part of your sign up, right? So, which, by the way, I completely understand. If you're a charitable person, you want to donate to people, even Susan G. Komen, go for it. I mean, if the intention is there to help people. But when you read a story about a giant charity turning into a giant company, and then threatening to sue because another charity that's basically on your team, and they're all smaller too. The article described them as mom and pop charities. They're all smaller, and you're threatening to sue them because they use the word cure because it threatens your interests. Like, I'm telling you, once money gets involved, that shit's all going down the drain. So it's really sad. It's sad. It's honestly frustrating. When you want to, for example, if you're a person that has really good intentions and wants to help the world, wants to help people, and you want to donate, I would stray away from that. I really would. You know what I mean? So before you donate to anybody, start doing your research. Find out how much of your money actually goes to the cause and how much goes to their company, because that's basically what it's become. And then you make your own moral decision whether or not you want to donate to someone that's going to sue a smaller charity that's doing the exact same thing, just on a way smaller scale, for using a 4-letter word. It's, come the fuck on. So, anyway, I was going to say back to MMA, but I can't remember the other thing I wanted to talk about in MMA. Oh, man. Yeah, Joe Duffy suffered that concussion. Oh, here's the details on Joe Duffy. There we go. The Joe Duffy concussion. Apparently, he suffered it last Saturday, according to his coach, Faraz Sahabi. And it wasn't that he pulled out of the fight. He didn't withdraw like himself, or his coaches didn't withdraw him. The UFC made him go get tested for concussion. Like, for example, anyone that knows that watches the football, the NFL specifically, and college too, but the NFL, they have a concussion protocol. If it looks like you took a shot to the head and you're showing signs of concussion, you have to sit out at least one play while they put you through the concussion test. If you show any signs of concussion, you're done. Like, you're basically done. And they got to get to the locker room and do further testing to make sure, right? Very few times has someone got pulled out of a football game where they showed signs of concussions and actually came back in. If you guys watch Steelers, oh God, I hate talking about this game, but if you guys watch Steelers Cardinals, Michael Vick took a knee to the head, apparently showed concussion signs. They took his ass to the locker room. No, they took his ass to the bench, checked him out, sat him for the rest of the game. And he wasn't going to be allowed to come back in. So the UFC got the test back, found out that Mr. Joe Duffy has a mild concussion. The UFC does not want the NFL's problems. I'm sure in the next 5 to 10 years they're going to have those problems for sure, in a larger scale than they are now. It's going to be way more than just a lawsuit by 10, 20, whatever it is, fighters right now, with Kung Lee and John Fitch and all that. But it's going to be way bigger if they especially if they let this problem get out of hand. So, mild concussion, the UFC withdrew Joe Duffy. So that's who you got to think at this point. So what do you do with Dustin Poirier? Dustin Poirier wants to fight Joe Duffy when he's healthy, and I guess he's willing to wait. I'm sure he got his show money, so he's okay. He's not starving, but wants to fight Joe Duffy. Doesn't want to take someone last minute. I guarantee if the McGregor thing is real, I guarantee Poirier wouldn't take the fight. I think he knows he's not ready for it. He's been in there with McGregor. I think he knows he's not ready for a guy like McGregor, right? I'm pretty sure he knows that, so he ain't gonna be doing that shit. Vic had sand in his he went out due to hamstring issues. Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was, dude. Had nothing to do with that giant knee he took to the dome, and he looking all fucking confused and shit. Yeah, that's what I would say too. If I had an interest in not being labeled as a concussion, as being a guy that just gets repeated concussions. I'm just being real with you. You know, fucking, I'm not bullshitting this. It's late. For example, labeling a player and or fighter, any athlete. Let's name an athlete. Naming any athlete that makes their money obviously in sports, in competitive sports, especially big money sports like football and NBA. If they label you injury prone, good luck getting a contract. Good luck getting a contract. If you're a fighter and you're labeled as injury prone, good luck getting a big fight. And if you do, for sure they have a backup for you. For sure. You know what I mean? But just because Dominic Cruz was a champ, you know what I mean? Just because he was a champ, you know, he's getting his title shot or whatever. But, you know, how many fighters have been released because they were inactive because they keep getting hurt, you know? With Michael Vick in football, that guy's this should be his last year. If he's smart, he should be his last year. He can't perform. More than likely, no other team's going to want to sign him in the offseason. And for his own health, he should stop fucking playing. But, you know, it's in the chance that another team brings him in and gives him a little contract to be a backup, you know, you don't want him to be labeled injury prone. Although he's kind of has that label anyway. That's just my take on it. Could have been standing hamstring, but that knee he took to the head, I'll be honest with you, I didn't see the knee. I was too busy, like, almost crying. He needs to stop. He sucks. He sucks already. Yeah, he does. He's not the old Michael Vick, man. But he's not even the Michael Vick that played for Philly. Not even close to that. He's doing it for the paycheck. But yeah, fucking, I don't know. You don't want to be labeled injury prone. So what do you do with Joe Duffy? Once he comes back or once he's healthy again from that concussion? It's a good question. What's up, Andrew? It's a good question. Who knows what you do with Joe Duffy at this point? I think it's a hard sell to give him any top fight. I think you try to reschedule the Dustin Poirier fight for sure. Fuck, I forgot to stop at the gas station. God damn it. I was about to fucking just drop here, but no. Yeah, I don't think you can. I think you rebook that Poirier fight for ASAP as all fuck. Nice little chance though to make it in at UFC 195 though, huh? Make that a massive card. Although I'll tell you right now, Arlovski-Stipe is not a huge fight, but it's definitely going to be for the #1 contendership. Yeah, reschedule it for the next Fight Pass event and Fight Night, or Fight Night for free. That's what I would hope they would do. But who knows? Let me ask you guys about something that really annoyed the hell out of me, and only annoyed me because of what it could mean. Okay. Joe Silva is kind of portrayed as a really nice guy, right? Portrayed as a really nice guy. You always see him going to the cage after the fight, shake both fighters' hands. Yeah, thank you, whatever. You know, good fight, whatever the fuck. Speaking of gas, we have gas here for 176. Yeah, because you live in shithole Texas, bro. I'm kidding, I'm fucking with you. I never been to San Antonio, but if I did, I'd probably hate it. Fucking with you, I probably hate all the Spurs fans. So, that's kind of what it is. Anyway. You can't blame me, man. My feelings hasn't been fucked by the Spurs so many times. It's so stupid. It bothers the fuck out of me to the point where I get mad. So, we'll talk during the NBA season. If we both make the playoffs and we end up playing each other, you guys will definitely make the playoffs. We probably won't, but if for America we do and we play each other, we're gonna be going back and forth on Twitter, Dan. So you know. Anyway, okay. So I was listening to Brendan Schaub's. They have that podcast, The Fighter and the Kid. Him and Brian Callen. Brian Callen's one of my favorite comedians, so I listen to that podcast, and I don't mind Brendan Schaub anymore. He kind of grew on me. Well, I guess you're gonna continue to hate San Antonio. Yeah, dude, pretty much. So, look, I'm a realistic fan, dude. I understand when my team has no chance. So, like I said, I don't even think we make the playoffs this year. So we'll talk about that later, though. So anyway, Brendan Schaub, and they had a show called The Big Brown's Farewell, UFC Farewell, whatever. And so he at one point he started talking about Joe Silva and Dana White and all them, and he said Joe Silva went up to him and actually kind of bitched at him and fucking cussed him out. Not cussed him out, but it really was a dick to him about one of his fights that he had because it wasn't entertaining, stand and bang. Him and Ben Rothwell, like remember when I think Shaw fought Ben Rothwell and it was just like sock 'em rock 'em or rock 'em sock 'em robots. Oh, I'm so backwards. it was like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, and that's what everyone expected out of forgot who he was fighting, but it turned out that Brendan Schaub doesn't want to get knocked the fuck out. He was fighting a guy that was kind of crappy on the ground, so that's what he did. Anyway, so he says Joe Silva, kind of shit on him a little bit to his face and whatnot, and so it makes me wonder why a guy. Oh, he also said, all these fights are getting made by a guy that's never fought once in his life, Joe Silva. So I don't know. That I didn't know that about him. It makes me think that Joe Silva's kind of a fucking dick. You thought everyone thinks Dana White's a fucking douchebag, and he really is. But I think he just takes the flack for everybody. I think it's very possible everyone in that office is a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Hell, they hired Matt Hughes for crying out loud. I don't know. I think Joe Silva is like one of those low down, one of those just in the background douchebags that nobody talks about, because he says it seems like such a nice guy and all sorts of shit. And I'm pretty sure he's nice to you if you put on a massive show and put yourself at risk to get fucked up. But it's just weird. I think if you're Joe Silva, you need to stop being such a dick and maybe go train or something. I don't know if he trains or not. That part he didn't talk about at all. But if he doesn't train, I think if you work for the UFC, if you try to do anything MMA that basically is you telling fighters what to do, so such as matchmaker, like you fight him, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. I think you should have to have some kind of experience. Hell, Herb Dean's a ref, and he trains. He's fought before. I'm pretty sure Big John does as well. And so I think if you're involved in the sport, you should do that. Shaw is one of those bitter fighters that sucks and cries and whines about everything. Come on, Dan. Come on, man. I think he's a guy that's realistic, but at the same time, he's not one of the better fighters at all. So it just looked like because he loses, he's gonna whine and bitch and cry and shit. But he has a platform where he's able to. So, regardless, I think I enjoy when he talks about stuff other than fighting, as far as or other than his fights. When he's on the fight and the kid. If you guys watch the Rogan Companions or the Rogan podcast or listen to him, he's actually pretty good. He'll grow on you pretty quick. I used to dislike Shaw a lot. He needs to end up with the rest of the wash-ups in Bellator. Well, I think I think Big Brown's done. I think Brandon Schaub's gonna retire. I know he didn't use the word retirement, but I think he's retired. I think he realizes he's about to be a dad. He's got a fine ass girl. He's still young, relatively young. He's got nothing wrong with him physically or mentally or as far as head trauma and all that shit yet. So I'm pretty sure he's like, look, man, I'm gonna walk out of this game, on my own terms. So that's I think that's what he did, and honestly I applaud him for it. I applaud him for it 100%. Just like I was, I think it was like a linebacker for the 49ers that retired at like 23 years old, 24 years old. Because he's afraid of what could happen with concussions. Guys that do that, athletes that do that, they don't do it because they're stupid. You know what I mean? They do it because they understand. Look, man, maybe I won't be able to, I won't get paid the millions here for fighting, for playing football, whatever. Silva is making fewer and fewer fights. He's not to blame. Uncle Dana's chasing the money. Yeah, no, but I'm not saying blame him for anything. I'm saying he could be a fucking douche. I mean, that's what I'm saying. He could be. I don't know the guy. So, yeah. But I don't know. It's a weird fucking situation with all that shit. Hold up. I'm sure. I don't think they have this in England, Andy. But this thing called Redbox. You have to respect those athletes that do that. Rogan brought Schaub to reality. Yep. That Rogan podcast. I'll take you guys with me real quick. Brendan Schaub was bullshitting like it didn't affect him. No, for sure it affected him. Hold up. Sorry, there was a bomb behind me. Anyway, this thing called Redbox and shit. I don't know if they have it. I doubt they have something like that in the UK, but I know for sure they probably have it in San Antonio, so you probably know what it is. It's this shit right here. But I have a problem with spending too much money on dumb shit. And here we go. We're back. All right. So I have a problem with spending money on stupid shit, such as video games and stuff like that. So what I'll do is I'll rent it, and if I like it, I'll buy it later on. But like, I don't know if any of you fucking play video games or buy video games or anything, or even movies. But by the way, if you buy DVDs, you know, you're still in like 2005. You need to stop with that bullshit. There's Netflix, and of course, there's my favorite torrents. So, if you really need to see a movie, I have GameFly. Oh, okay. I never tried GameFly. GameFly is a service where they send games to you. All I know is you got to put it on this wish list and wait. So if someone else got it before you, you're kind of fucked. Anyway, dude, it's a nice 63 degrees in the Valley of the Sun, which means the sun's hiding right now. As soon as that bitch pops out, it's gonna probably rocket to like 80 degrees, or 85 degrees, which is still super comfortable. So the weather's changing. I don't know how it is in San Antonio. I'm sure it's getting colder as well. But this is my favorite time of year because it's right before it gets super cold. Like people, you know, we have this. Arizona has this fucking reputation for being super hot, and it is. But Arizona is more of an extreme. It hits the extremes. When it gets cold here, it's fucking cold. All right. When it gets hot here, it's retardedly hot. But we have these periods of maybe like 3 or 4 weeks in between those. That is just, we're expected to get at least 5 inches of rain between today and Saturday. Have fun, Dan. Fuck that shit. We have perfect weather in Phoenix. Perfect. These are the times where I go hiking and shit. Like my knee's a little bit sore. We have 95-degree heat wave here. God damn. Well, Andy, you're welcome to visit, man. No joke. But anyway, like I'm thinking about going to hike on Sunday. But it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be like perfect weather to be outside, which I'm fucking for sure gonna take advantage of. I got a sore knee, so I gotta go actually to the doctor to get checked out. Not really, it's fucking miserable. All right, well, that sucks, man. Heat waves suck for sure, especially if you're not used to the heat. Here in Phoenix, regular heat during the summer is 105, 106 degrees, 107 degrees. A heat wave here means we're hitting 120. All right, and those heat waves last fucking long time too. So, yeah. Anyway, so it's a perfect time to do anything outside here. Hey, so gas limit is a 150 favorite over Matt Brown. What do you think? What do I think? Yeah. Gas limit's gonna take him down. Matt Brown does not like to wrestle. Let's be honest. He does not like to go to the ground with anybody. You know, he doesn't want to get ground and humped. I think Hendricks did that to him. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I think he should be a bigger favorite, to be honest with you, because Gaslam's gonna take his fucking ass down, and he's gonna ground and pound his ass, and he's gonna beat Matt Brown. You know, Matt Brown's old. Here's the thing. This is just my belief in fighting right now. I don't want to call them tiers because that's like TIER. I don't want to call them tiers. Because I believe any fighter could beat anybody else on any given day. However, you know, and I don't want to put anybody down by saying, oh, you know, Kevin Gaslam's a higher tier. If Gaslam can make weight, he will make weight. I'm telling you right now, he'll make weight. In fact, I'm not gonna put that out there yet until it's for sure. But he's gonna make weight. Don't worry. But here's the thing about Kelvin Gaslam is he can stand with you and he can take you down. However, if you're going to go into a fight with a big name like Matt Brown, and I'd consider him a big name because he's just a guy everyone wants to watch. You know, in fact, Matt Brown could have saved this fucking Dublin card for sure. You know, if you're going to fight someone like that and their best weapon is stand-up, you're going to take that fight to the ground if you're smart. Just don't just lay on him and try to win on points. You know, try to fucking ground and pound the dude. Which, again, good luck finishing Matt Brown. But, yeah, I agree with that. He should be a bigger favorite in my opinion, but usually the ones that make those odds are pretty fucking smart and they know why they're only, you know, it's only 150 favorite. Instead of like what was Ronda's last fight, like 1,000 or whatever the fuck ridiculous number it was, as far as her being the favorite. So yeah, no, I'm with that. I think Kelvin Gaslam's gonna beat him. I think he can finish him. I think he can. The card is actually pretty good. That card is great. Yeah. But Kelvin Gaslam, I think he's gonna force the ref to make a call. I don't think he's gonna be able to get Matt Brown to tap, or I don't think he's gonna be able, you know, make him, you know, quit by getting, you know, on strikes. I think the ref's gonna be like, shit, Matt Brown's too crazy for his own good and stop the fight. So that's what I think happens. And don't get me wrong, I'm not being a Kelvin Gastelum fanboy, because I'm a fan of Kelvin Gastelum, you know, other than when he fucking eats too many tacos and won't fucking make weight. But I do recognize the skills, man, and Kelvin Gastelum's a bad motherfucker. So that'll be an interesting fight. I can't wait for that one. Actually, it should be good. The injury bug, hopefully won't fuck us on that one too. As far as a good fight and a good card. All right, so what do I got left? I think that's it. I think I got nothing else. I think Andy missed out on the Susan G. Coleman thing, so I'll go over it real quick. If you're, hey, I'm a fan of Ben Henderson, steps up, fights Dustin at catchweight. Here's the thing, he volunteered. Go check his Twitter. He said, hey UFC, if you want me, I prefer 170, but I can make 155. If Dustin Poirier wants a big fish to fry, here's one. So yeah, definitely, I'd be down with that. But anyway, I think some people missed out on the wow, dude. Wow, you have to be female. There's no way you're a dude. You're a male driver. You are a male driver. When's the last time you saw a gynecologist, you fuck? God damn. This dude just drove on the sidewalk. Like he's gonna go into a gas station, and he's like, oops, never mind, and drove on the sidewalk for about 50 feet, at least 50 feet, before he got back on the street. Fucking dickhead. Usually it's the women that pull that bullshit. But, whatever. Anyway, in fact, there's better female drivers than that douchebag. See, I don't get road rage. I just get annoyed. Like, really fucking annoyed at stupid people. Anyway, alright. Susan G. Coleman. Like I was telling people before, and if you missed it, here it is. I was reading this morning, Susan G. Coleman Foundation for Breast Cancer has basically sent letters to people, to smaller charities that have the word cure in their name. So, for example, I think Alaska has one called Mush for the Cure. There's one called Cupcakes for the Cure. San Antonio drivers can't drive for shit either. Yeah, well, I don't think anyone can drive, man. I think everyone sucks. But then again, maybe we just think we're so good drivers that everyone else sucks. Anyway, Susan G. Coleman Foundation sending out letters to other smaller charities that have the word cure, C-U-R-E, in their name. So Mush for the Cure, Cupcakes for the Cure, I think is one of them that I thought was funny, but still. Basically anything that's fundraising for cancer or anything else, honestly for anything that has the word cure in it, they're getting a letter saying, change your name or we're suing. Susan G. Coleman is a charity. Money for cancer, right? For cancer research. How in the fuck are you going to sue other places that are just like you, just smaller, right? Yeah, I know, Andy. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, Andy says people in the States are funny. I think, you know what I think? And I forgot who put this up. I want to say it was, who was it on Twitter that put this up? I want to say it was, whatever. It was someone from the UK. Put up this thing, a screenshot of an option to choose a language, right? And one of them said, they both said English. One of them with the Brit flag, one of them with the US flag. The Brit flag said traditional, the English traditional in parentheses. The other one says English simplified. I'm like, does that not sum up how motherfuckers in this country are? God damn. So, it's sad, man. It's turned out, Susan G. Coleman's turned into a business, man. Don't fucking get it twisted, all right? Money does change everything. And if you people say, oh, it's not going to change anything. No, it's going to change something. And with the foundations like that, as soon as they got rich and they got big, it became companies, no longer charities. So it's, I don't know, change the topic, but luck finally came through for my fantasy team. Well, yeah, he played, so it works out for you, man. Actually, I got to end the show real quick. I got to go into work. So if you want to know anything else about the Susan G. Coleman thing, just look it up on Google and prepare to lose your fucking mind at how angry you're going to get. Okay, I got angry because it's a stupid thing to fucking do, to sue other charities that aren't yours. It's just dumb. But anyway, all right, I got to go. Catch you guys later this afternoon on my drive home. I don't know what I'm calling it yet. I've been calling it shooting the shit and drive slow, homie, and all that. So everybody have a good day. Go do what you got to do. If it's your day off, enjoy it. Later, Dan. If it's your day off, enjoy it. And no problem, Andy. I'm going to listen. Oh, fuck it. Before we get off here, go listen to the Intelligent Musings of Three Idiots. Aaron Robbins, Andrew Reed, and Fred Kirby. Haven't listened to it yet. I actually have it loaded up, ready to go for my work day. Wow, what the hell is that? I got some shit. Anyway, for my work afternoon, it's only like an hour and change show, but believe me, it's entertaining as fuck. Go check them out. I'm gonna tweet the link out in a little bit here, so don't miss it. Start listening to those guys. Subscribe to whatever they're fucking on. I think they're on SoundCloud. Start subscribing to those buggers because they're funny as hell. So everyone have a good day. You're one day closer to death, so make that shit count. See ya.